I thought I'd revisit this Honeywell water leak alarm because I have 2 of them and I recently purchased 3 more. I did do a video about these, which was about 3 years ago, so consider this my 3-year review then of these things, and I'll tell you a little bit about them. In my other video I talked about, you know, the different uses, where to put them, all that good stuff. I can't put a link to that video, but I just want to get these out and tell you a little bit about them. Now, you can buy fancy Wi-Fi ones, which I have a couple of those, but these are the go-to ones. I gotta tell you, for the price, they're not that expensive. They're extremely reliable. I have to tell you that right off the start, and that is why I bought more of them. Especially this time of year. We're coming up on April here. It's the end of March, and you know, especially if you're living in a lower area, if you ever have water issues, you know, the runoff and stuff, you might have some basement issues, or of course you put these underneath your sinks, anywhere that there's water, around your water heater, everywhere. And they're just so reliable, and honestly the other 2 that I have, I cannot remember the last time I replaced the batteries. I think they do state the batteries should last like 2 years. I just wanted to show you a little experiment here. I'm gonna hook this battery up. I have my other 2 ready to go here, because there's a few things I'm gonna do. Oh, so what you need to know, so you just put the battery in there. I just removed this, you just screw that out, use a quarter or something. And there's actually an O-ring down in there. And so in theory, these are also waterproof. We're going to do a little test in a second too. I have tested them before for being waterproof as far as the bottom goes, but there's another thing that I want to find out. So anyways, that's all there is to these units. And I did have 3 different styles of batteries. I had the Duracell, the Great Value, and oh man, I can't remember now. I think it was a Rayovac. I was going to mark that down, because I'm going to date these 2, and we're going to see how long these batteries last. I can tell you though, if you're into, oh, it was a Everready. We have a Great Value, a Duracell, and an Everready. I'm going to say the Duracell would last the longest. Probably this Everready, and of course that Great Value is just, those are cheap. But even that cheap battery, which I have, I believe in my other ones, they'll last way over a year. Like, as I say, I can't remember when I actually replaced the batteries in them. I think I just did them because I thought, you know, I should replace them. But it does have an alarm. If the battery gets low, it will start chirping. So that's not a, you know, big issue. So if you're a person who likes to replace things like just like your smoke detectors on a yearly basis, honestly, I would go with the cheapest battery. These are kind of expensive, same with the other one. So it just depends what you want to do, but I'm going to guess that I'm probably going to get like 3 years out of this battery, because I'm sure one of my other ones is still going for 3 years. And if they do get wet, they make a nice loud alarm sound, and it will actually sound for 24 hours. So you know, if you happen to be gone for a few hours and something happens, rest assured it's going to still be making noise for when you get home. One interesting thing I want to find out. Now, I have to be a little bit careful. If you do get a lot of water, I want to know, is this thing going to float? Because it does have an opening on the top here for the sound to come out. So this is kind of one of the things that I want to test on here today. And how they work, basically water is conductive. There's the 2 pins here. So when it's in water, it makes a connection, sounds the alarm. Some people have their, say for a water heater, some people have like a pan under the water heater. And if it's made out of metal, you can't set this on. It's going to be obvious. You can't set this on metal because it's going to make the connection and make the alarm go off. But anyways, these are my go-tos. As I said, the other ones that are Wi-Fi and stuff, they're good, especially maybe if you're on vacation. You know, you could call up a neighbor, you might get an alert on your phone. But you know, just for general use, I get these. They've never let me down, and they've alerted me a few times I've had issues. I have a sink in the basement that, just the way our house is set up, we're on a well system, there's no basement drain, and my sink actually overflowed, and of course I had one of those under there because my washing machine drains into the sink. And the sink pump didn't work, so it alerted me. That was a good thing. So we're going to see if this thing floats. So I'm going to be gentle because remember, if the water's rising slowly, it's not going to get submerged. So it appears to float, so the water can come up quite a bit. And you know, it'll float around. So let's get that out of there. And I'm 100% confident that bottom panel is sealed. You can just tell when you turn on that bottom, it's not going to leak. And you just dry it off and it stops beeping. So I don't know what more to tell you. There's not much, you know, it has a 1-year warranty, it says. You know, and just on the insert, you know, just kind of like what I'm telling you, early warning for, you know, water damage and stuff like that. Completely reusable, as they indicate, and I did mention the alarm sounds for 24 hours. So there you go. You have to buy the 9-volt batteries separately, unfortunately. The batteries almost cost as much as the water detector, by the way. But you know, around your toilets, you know, if your toilet overflows or something. I had my toilet, it actually started leaking out of there's a seal between the tank and the toilet, and there's bolts that go through, and it started leaking at the seals. So, I mean, there you go. It's just one more thing. This is my thing. Like, I'm happy with them. I completely would recommend these. And what I'm going to do with part of my test here, we're going to get these all done up. As I say, very easy. You might want to do a quick little test. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, make sure they're working. Take this one, get him done up. Come on. And make sure it's working. Yep. There we go. So we're good to go. And yeah, I'm gonna also go ahead. It's not quite April, but we're almost there. I'm gonna make little labels for these. I'm bending the tape over so I can easily remove it later.
Put it up to the side. And yeah, I'm just gonna, because that way I can go back. If the battery goes dead, I'll be able to see which battery it was. So I'm gonna assume it's probably gonna be like another 3 years unless something happens that I'll review these again. And it's almost April, and we are in 2020. So I'm just gonna
I mean, you shouldn't really wait until they go dead. You should get on some sort of a schedule. Cheap batteries, whoops. Cheap batteries I would do every year. That Duracell, that's going to be good for 2 years. So there we go. All labeled up. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, come back for more. Good times. Stay safe.